Hello money magnets and master traders, it's your Uncle Charters here. On my last video, I spoke about how Uncle was not very convinced of the bullishness. Because on Monday, we had that big end of day rally, and the next day it bounced even higher, getting just shy of the 20 daily moving average, but we saw selling pressure. Here is the evidence right there. And because of the selling pressure that was very close to the 20 daily moving average, Uncle mentioned I just was not convinced on being bullish. I was still bearish. Of course, I covered the charts unbiasedly and I gave us the bull case scenario along with the bear case scenario. But I mentioned I was not convinced unless the 20 daily moving average was cleared. As you guys can see, with the 20 daily moving average not clearing, we were able to find more downside. How did we trade it today? As usual, I give my Discord members and I give you guys, my YouTube viewers, love you guys, the levels and setups beforehand. And on my Discord this morning, I mentioned the 671 level. I wrote here, breaking down 671 would be bearish follow through. Now, as usual, I want to let you guys know, I used the 15-minute chart to confirm breakdowns and breakouts. And you can see on this candle right here, first candle of the day, it broke down 671. Now, when you enter puts on a breakdown, you want to cut loss when the breakdown or the setup gets invalidated. So in other words, if you're buying puts on a breakdown 671, you want to cut loss if price gets back above 671. As you guys can see, it never broke down 671. There was no reason to let it hit your stop loss because your stop loss would have been above or a close above 671. So stop loss never got hit. When we had the breakdown, I let my Discord members know 671 breakdown, putting 669 in play. Once we hit 669, here's the most important part of Uncle's trading plan. I wrote, if you played the 671 breakdown, be sure to secure most profits around the 669 level and leave a runner. So you never want to take all profits. You want to take most profits. If you bought 10 contracts, you want to take profit like 7, 8, or maybe 6 and leave the rest as a runner. So as you guys can see, this is why we want to leave runner. Once it hit my 669 level, you don't want to deal with the drama of the price action because not every day is going to be a trend day. Sometimes it's going to be choppy and annoying and slow. That's why you rather deal with all that price action drama with your runners. You take profit on most of your position and you let the runners just run until the stop loss get hit. And as we can see, end of the day, you drop all the way down to the 666 area. So when you're day trading Uncle Charters style, you don't want to get zero DTEs. Of course, there are times when zero DTEs will work when the volatility is super high. But I never recommend getting zero DTEs. I'd rather you guys get 1 to 3 days out. If you're swing trading, 1 week to 2 weeks out. Swing trading for 1 day hold. If you're going to hold for more than 1 day, you want to get something 1 month out as far as expiration dates. But if you're just day trading, you want to get 1 to 3 days out. Because in case we get that slow action like we did intraday, theta decay won't hurt you too much. But other than that, the breakdown of 671, as I mentioned in Uncle's Discord, getting bearish below it was definitely bearish with that drop. So now I want to talk to us about what is next. What is the next plan? Well, obviously we are bearish still. And as usual on my channel, I want to give you guys the bear case scenario and the bull case scenario. So right now, let's talk about the bull case first because we want to be unbiased, and then we'll get into the bear case. Let's go over it quickly. So I have levels at 667.5, 669, 671, and 672.5. Add these levels to your charts. You want to see those levels recapture. to try to go for a relief bounce back up to the 664 and 665.7 level. That zone, 674, which is around where my 5 DMA is, and the critical 675.7 level is a very important zone. As long as we're below that zone, I'm overall bearish. We're in sell the bounce mode, if you will. And of course, if we are talking about the bull case, so that is the main zone that you want to see clear before we truly start getting bullish again on the SPY. So if we recapture that, I will lean bullish again. In favor, we go retest the 20 daily moving average, and a recapture of the 20 daily moving average will add to my bullishness. Otherwise, here's the bear case. I recommend us remaining bearish. We could get some choppy action, sideways actions, but overall, I recommend us remaining bearish and favoring more downside, because if 666 fails as support, I have a fib level at 664.7 and then 663 and another fib level around 661.7. I would favor us hitting those levels as long as those resistant levels that I mentioned defend. Now the 200 daily moving average is not that far away. It's been a while. If we zoom out to the left, we haven't hit the 200 daily moving average as support since May of last year. If the bears want it, they can have it, but they'll need to break down those support levels that I mentioned, because this is the closest we've been to the 200 daily moving average in a while. Okay, so you have the bull case scenario, you have the bear case scenario. Remember to always play it level to level, and if you want to chase the home run moves, do it with your runners. Let's move on to triple Q. Also looking bearish to me. Now I want to remind us that multiple times around that 600 area, we had some washes below, but it's been a long time. It's been a little while since we actually had a close below the 600 level. The last time was actually in early February when we had a real close below that 600 level before it recaptured and defended as support multiple times. And now here we are. So 600 will be my equilibrium level for tomorrow. If we want to be bullish, we got to recapture 600 and break out this downtrend line, which needs about 605.5 and 607 for me to consider it a breakout. Otherwise, stay bearish as long as triple Q stays below 600, and break it down 595.7 would be your bearish follow through. Here is NVDA. That 183 level served as a tough sell zone for quite some time. Today, it served as a buy zone. As you can see, there wasn't much buying. So watch that 183 level carefully. There's been some bad news lately with the war with Iran, and NVDA was part of that bad news. I'm sure a lot of you guys read about it or heard about it. So just pay attention to the 183 level. If we're below it and we break down 179, I'm bearish. I am bearish on NVDA. But if we're above 183, I'm going to give the bulls the benefit of the doubt, and clearing 186, which we haven't done yet, will be your bullish follow through. Now, while I'm giving the bulls the benefit of the doubt for the NVDA, there's no reason to do that for Tesla. We cleared this downtrend line, the green one, and ran right into the orange downtrend line, where we were met with strong selling pressure. And as you can see, the bears stepped up where they needed to, and they broke back below the green downtrend line, getting very close to the 200 daily moving average. As long as below 398, I am bearish on Tesla. Watch that 200 daily moving average. It's around 393.3-ish as of recording this video. So if we break it down, that's your bearish follow through. Do not go long unless 398 and 400 and also 406 can recapture. To truly get in the breakout mode and end this downtrend line, we need to clear this orange downtrend line. To do that, we need to recapture and break out 412. That's a fib level, but also right around where the downtrend line is. Here is Amazon finally breaking back below the 211 level. So let's keep it simple for Amazon. As long as it's below 211, expect more downside. We'll likely head back below 200. And if we can recapture if we can recapture 211, then maybe, just maybe, we can get a bounce back up to the 215 to the 217 zone. Above 217, maybe we can be a little bit more bullish. Yeah, getting above 215 and 217, we could be a little bit more bullish based on this downtrend line here. But otherwise, stay bearish as long as the price is below 211. And Meta showing bearish price action as well, breaking down multiple support levels of mine. I had it at 650, 648, 646.5. None of those support levels held. So it's looking bearish. The next support I have is at 637.8 and 636. Those levels fail as well. Expect more downside. I do have resistance at 639, 641, 645, and 646.5. Got to recapture those levels. But the main level I want to see, the main scenario I want to see to get bullish is the 50 daily moving average. Recapturing that is not the case. So I recommend staying bearish as long as below that moving average. Here is Microsoft rejecting from my 5 DMA. It's looking bearish to me. If we break down 401 and 399 next, that will be your bearish follow through. We'll likely head down to the 392-ish area. No longs. I wouldn't recommend longs unless 403 and 404.3 can recapture to put 408, 410, and 411.7 back in play. Here is Apple looking bearish to me. The next level I need to see break down to really get bearish is 254.3, 253, and 251.4. Those levels fail. No doubt in my mind we are going to get a lot more downside for Apple. Like I said, it's some bad news around these companies, and Apple was another one. If you want to go long, the price action must tell you to, and it needs to come in the form of a false breakdown setup. So that means 257.7 must recapture, 259, 260.5, and 262 all must clear for me to get bullish. Otherwise, it's looking bearish. Here is IWM also looking bearish. To get bearish follow through, price needs to stay below 248 and break down 246.4. If that happens, expect more downside. Do not go long unless 248 and 250 can recapture to put 251.7, 253, and 255 back in play. A bottom is likely in above 255. Otherwise, stay bearish. And here is the VIX. It is looking bullish to me, guys. And remember, a bullish VIX is a bearish SPY. So we clear 28 and 30 next, expect more upside. That's good for trading when volatility is up. No shorts on VIX, or don't expect any downside unless support levels start failing. So 25.5, well actually yeah, 25. I'm looking at 23, 21.7, and 20 as my support levels. Add those to your charts. And here is the DarkPool levels at 666.18. 666 is one of my support levels, but it's also a DarkPool level, which is cool to see. 1.7 billion in premium. So add this level to your chart for tomorrow. You can label it as Uncle's level and a DarkPool level, because if we get below that level, more downside incoming. If we are to get a bounce from this level, I gave you guys the resistant levels to watch, okay? So here's another one, 668.24, 758 million in premium. And this was 679.8 million in premium at 676.45. You can add those two if you guys want, but I don't take those too serious because it's not over a billion. But they're pretty high. They're still pretty high. But yeah, just remember 666. If we get below that level, expect a lot more downside. The sell-off continues. And if we get a bounce, just watch the resistant levels I gave you guys. Alright? Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video helped you. If you want more content from Uncle Chartist, definitely join the Discord. Let's kick the market makers' asses together. Let's be money magnets together. Together we are strong. Love y'all. Peace.